The Native American Church is a religious group whose beliefs are built on the moral practices of Native culture as well as fundamental beliefs of Christianity. Native Americans began using peyote for ritualistic purposes in the 1800s. John Wilson, also known as Big Moon, began the peyotism movement among the Kiowa tribe around the year 1870. However, peyote was used among many Native tribes including the Comanches, the Cheyenne, the Arapaho, and others. Use of peyote in the Native American culture is strictly religious. Quanah Parker, the last chief of the Comanches, claimed the Creator gave the people peyote as a sacrament. Membership in the Native American Church requires total abstinence from alcohol. Because of their peyote usage, members eventually came to be known as peyotists. The name peyote comes from the Aztec word peyotil. Peyote is a slow-growing, spineless cactus usually found in the southwest region of Texas and in central Mexico. The hallucinogenic effect it produces is caused by mescaline. It is ingested and is usually said to make the user feel as if they are in a dreamlike trance, where sound and vision appear warped. A peyote trip can last anywhere from 10 to 12 hours, depending on the amount taken. Native Americans use peyote for physical and mental healing. Some tribes use hallucinogens, such as peyote, during preparatory stages of a vision quest, in order to bring about a spiritual experience. American Indians believe that use of peyote enables them to communicate with the spirits of dead relatives as well as the Creator. Some members of the Native American Church associate peyote with Jesus. Peyote ceremonies vary from tribe to tribe. Within the Native American Church, these ceremonies typically begin on a Saturday night around 8 p.m. and end when the sun comes up. Members believe that peyote allows them to be closer to God, which in turn motivates them to be more kind to each other as well as love others outside the tribe. Peyotism was legalized around the year 1967.
You want a revolution, well, you know.
The counterculture of the 1960s refers to a cultural movement that mainly developed in the United States and spread through much of the Western world. The movement continued to gain momentum during the United States' involvement in Vietnam, along with tensions regarding war, race relations, women's rights, authority, and experimentation with drugs. This made way for the hippie culture to rise, which led to an evolution of a youth subculture. During this time, there was an overwhelming rethinking of the American society, backed by an influential nonviolent movement and a growth in environmentalism. Widespread use of this psychoactive drugs contributed to this, and the availability of new and more effective forms of birth control allowed for a sexual revolution to become a huge part of this movement as well. Dope was the single largest symbol of the difference between counterculture and establishment culture. Dope was the word used for good drugs, which meant marijuana, hashish, LSD, mescaline, and peyote. Hippies did not approve of amphetamines, methadone, and sometimes cocaine, but above all their creed was, if it feels good, then do it as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. Dope became a cultural symbol, and for many, dope was a tool that provided healing and insight. The countercultural movement was greatly influenced by Native Americans and their more natural way of living. Many hippies were obsessed with their culture, and some similar themes to the cultures exist, such as rejecting American society and living close to the earth. Native Americans' tradition of drug use and the fact that Native American Church was the only place where a psychedelic substance, peyote, could be used legally only added to the hippies' fascination. However, the similarities between the cultures really only scratched the surface. Dope played such a dominant role in the countercultural movement. However, Native American culture was not and is not primarily focused on getting high. The methods were used as a way of getting in touch with ancient Native traditions, and peyote has always been one of several spiritual tools. Hippies wanted to get high and perhaps see any vision that was conjured up. Despite the differences, hippies genuinely admired and did their best to imitate many Indian ways.